Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're going to show you how to do a typical SML examination using the Sanico Lab 300 system. This tutorial assumes you have taken the Lab 300 introductory training, so you should at least be familiar with the controls. This is not intended to replace that training, it serves only as a reminder in the use of Lab 300 in examinations. Prior to your exam, you should have saved your exam audio or video material in a suitable format on the L Drive test folder. If you haven't done so already, you will need to copy that over now. Remember, students do not have the necessary permissions to browse to this folder themselves, so you will need to follow the launch procedure demonstrated in this tutorial. First of all, you should have logged into the teacher's PC and opened the Sanico Lab 300 software. You should now be looking at a screen something like this. Next, we need to have each candidate log into a student's PC. Until each student's PC has completed the login process fully, you will not be able to fully launch your exam materials. And if you have any unused student PCs, we recommend you also log into some of these. This gives you spare capacity to account for any latecomers, or any machine that develops a fault during your examination. Everyone logged in now? Okay, let's begin. To run a typical SML examination, you only really need to use these four buttons here, which are duplicated by these four icons here. The buttons and the icons do exactly the same thing, so please use whichever you feel most comfortable with. Assuming your students' PCs have all completed the login process, we now want to lock the students' screens. This turns them all black, so they will have no unauthorized access to any web content such as e-dictionaries or online translation services. So we use the lock button here, or the lock icon here. I tend to prefer the icons. Select this, which opens the lock operation window. We want to lock the screen only, so we select Lock Screen Only, and then select OK. Your student's screen will now all immediately turn black. Should any student's screen not turn black, simply repeat the lock screen process. Next, we need to launch out the Sanico Duo player using the Duo Launch button here or the Duo Launch icon here. This opens up the Duo Launch window. Simply select Duo Launch and click OK. Now the Sanico Duo player will be launched out on all of the students' machines. When the Duo player has launched successfully, a small white square will appear against that student's position. Student positions that do not have the white square do not have the Duo player, and are therefore not ready to receive your exam materials. The most common cause of this is that the student's PC has not fully completed the login process. At this point, please take a moment to check that you have a white square showing at every logged-in student position. If not, please wait a moment and then repeat the Duo launch operation. Now we need to launch the exam file out to all our student machines. For this we use the File button here, or the File Launch Copy icon, which is this one here. Again, I'll use the icon today. Select and it opens the File Operations window. We now need to browse to our Tests folder, so we select the folder icon and browse to the SML AV Assets L Drive. Select this and we're looking for the Tests folder. There it is. Select the Tests folder and open. We now see our list of exam files. We need to find the right exam file. Today I think I'll use a Spanish exam. There. Now we select Open and you'll see the file appears in the file name box here. We now have a couple of options to launch our file: the file launch or the file copy and launch. The file launch is used for video files and the file copy and launch is used for audio files or any other type of file that is not video. The Spanish exam I've selected is an MP3 audio file, so I'll select File, Copy and Launch. And you'll see the file name now appears here, and it is an MP3. We now need to select exam mode by checking the examination mode box. In this mode, candidates are not able to save, alter or manipulate the exam file in any way. Now we need to select the Advance button to allow the students to review the answers, so check that box if it isn't already. This allows the students to rewind, pause or play the file at their own pace. Select OK. Now we're ready to launch the exam file. We select the Launch button here and up pops the window. You will now be asked, do you want students to be able to save changes before selected operation? But before you do, this is a last chance to speak to your students before the exam file is launched and starts playing in their headphones. So when you're happy with that, select No. A status panel window will open here, indicating the file is copying over to all of the logged-in machines, and after a few seconds it should then show Copy Ready. Please note that the status panel does not appear when file launching your video materials. We can close that window now, and we immediately see that our little white squares have turned into little white triangles. These indicate that the exam file is now playing in the student's headphones. If that's something you didn't want to happen right away, you can quickly select Group Control and press the Stop button, and we're back into stop mode again. Remember though that you will need to rewind to get it back to the start for the students. And there we go. Students can now either press play themselves, or you can always start them playing all together again using the Group Control Play button. Congratulations! You have now successfully launched out your exam materials to your students, and they can work away at their own pace. Only one job left for you now. At the very end of the exam, once the last student has finished, you need to log all the students' machines off. We can do that remotely using the Shutdown button here, or the Shutdown icon here. That opens the Shutdown Operations window. We're going to log them off, not shut them down. So select Log Off and uncheck the Save Allowed, then select OK. Our student machines will now all log off, and as the white squares start to disappear, remember that you will still need to shut down the Lab 300 software and log off the teacher's PC. Again, don't shut down the teacher's PC, only log off. Shutting down any of the lab PCs will only cause delays for the next user. That brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it useful, but if you do need further assistance, please ring the technician on extension 7536. Thank you.